Guten Morgen. I did not film anything yesterday because I honestly didn't feel like it, and so I did not. Reading update. Did I end up reading anything at all yesterday? No, which is why this freaking vlog is about 10,000 years long. Am I going to do something about that? Yes. Holy shit, yes I am. I plan on reading a lot today. Any other plans for today? Yes, my husband and I are gonna do something absolutely thrilling, and that is grocery shopping. Truly. Yeah, just grocery shopping and me freaking reading. Oh my god. And in hair update, by the way, if you don't want to hear my hair journey update, just skip here. I completely understand. Okay. I was doing some research yesterday and I came across, thankfully, a channel of a lady who I can't think of her name at the top of my head, but her picture will be on screen. Her channel is dedicated to curly hair and taking care of it, and I can already tell she is going to be an absolutely massive help to me, who is incredibly lazy. And let me just state, as frustrating as it is to have to deal with the hard water here in Thailand, I actually want to thank it because it really opened up my eyes and is motivating me to get off my lazy ass and start treating my hair better. What I mean by this is pretty much all of my life, not only have most of my life, I just didn't know how to take care of curly hair because nobody around me had curly hair, and YouTube did not exist until I was somewhere in my 20s. But anyways, most of my life didn't know how to take care of it. And a combination of me being incredibly lazy and just wishing that I had the type of hair where I could simply shampoo, condition, and just be done with it. But the reality is that is not the nature of my hair, nor any kind of curly hair. You need to do more. And I am fully admitting here that I do not do much of the more aspect about taking care of my curly hair. So, you know, have I complained about the nature of my hair, even though I've known that there are things that I could do to help improve it? Yes, I have. So there's that. For example, here's a massive thing for people who don't have curly hair. Deep conditioning is a thing. That is a thing that I don't know if I have ever done in my life. And I'm pretty sure everybody with curly hair are just like, oh my god, the blasphemy. I know, I'm very freaking well aware. So this is like an apology to my hair. I'm going to do better. I'm telling you now, and I am telling you, the audience, the two of you that stuck around to watch me talk about my hair. Okay. Yeah, that's it. Okay. Yeah. I was able to read stuff today. Go me! Non-spoiler stuff first, in no particular order. Thetis, is that her name? Achilles' mom. She's very protective of him. I will give her that. There is still a choice that she made earlier on in the book, which I'm still not cool with. I will probably never be cool with. Actually, no, I will never be cool with. Moving on, next bullet point. I hold fast to my statement in a previous vlog that I would not want to be living, honestly, in this world, not only as a woman, but just as I have learned, I don't think I would even want to be like a prince or a princess, just someone of high status, particularly to men who are seeking power, because the things that these people will do for power is frankly disgusting. Moving on. Patroclus, he is very much ride or die when it comes to Achilles. I think that's all I can really say about that. Oh, the last thing I could possibly say is, wow, the toxic masculinity in this story. Basically, if a man is like seen dressed as a woman or doing anything that would be deemed feminine, and ooh, that's like a freaking knife to their pride and their honor or something like that. Like, my dudes, get over your dang self. And that, I think, is the end of the non-spoiler stuff that I can say. So if you do not want to be spoiled, skip to whatever this time code thing is. Okay, and if you do stick around, I'm pretty sure this will only make sense to those that have read this book. I will say that there is a point in this book where, for a brief period of time, I was so tempted to honestly DNF this book, because I can't quite articulate the whys, but there is something that happens that just... Okay, I need to explain it because I said this is spoilers. I'm gonna butcher her name, but the character, Diademia, essentially, her and Achilles were pretty much like tricked and coerced into getting married because of Achilles' mom. But once Patroclus came by, Achilles just straight up ignored Diademia, yeah? And so Diademia, she became quite like angry and bitter towards Patroclus because Patroclus has the attention of Achilles. And I will say, like, kudos to Patroclus for being such a kind... He was still so kind towards her because he felt sympathy and empathy towards her because, I mean, she was kind of in a crappy situation as well. Props to him. However, I felt there was a scene where Patroclus took this wanting to comfort her too far, especially after she was being just straight up mean to him, again, because she's being bitter and everything. I should probably just say it. For whatever reason, Patroclus, I don't know if it was because, again, he's trying to comfort her in her distress or whatever, he slept with her again, even though my boy is like full-on gay, does not care for women. And it's just, why? I honestly, like, you can see that I'm getting kind of worked up about this because I don't understand it. I feel like pissed off about it. Editing Rose here. I was able to speak with a friend of mine who has read the book, and she explained and interprets this particular scene as it was a combination of Patroclus feeling guilty as fuck about Achilles essentially just completely ignoring Diademia. Is that her name? Sure. And also Diademia being a manipulative and so swirl that around, and Patroclus felt just weirdly obligated to sleep with her. Now, I wouldn't say all of this makes me feel better, but it does help at least clarify this scene that made me feel incredibly uncomfortable and just like, huh? And to close this up, I will say it does help me view Patroclus better, but because of my initial thought about it, I do still feel just a bit, I guess, tainted toward Patroclus. That's something I gotta work on, but yeah, just wanted to update on my feelings of this particular scene. Okay, cool. Now back to my past self. But I think that is the end of my update for now. I'll probably do a bit of editing with this vlog, and what else do I want to do? I might do a brief workout as well, because, was it yesterday? No, the day before. I was finally able to pick up just a simple yoga mat because I really enjoy doing, if you are, any of you familiar with Blogilates or Cassie, she's on YouTube. I really enjoy doing her particular workout, and a lot of her stuff requires a yoga mat, so I was able to get that, which I'm very excited about, and because I have it, I'm like, now I want to do all the things. I want to do all the workouts. I'm quite proud of myself, to be perfectly honest. I think I started working out regularly again, was it June? I'll say around June, and I've been consistent about working out 3 days a week. I'm really proud of myself for that. Okay, rambling. I'll check in with y'all later. Okay. Holy crap, y'all. I just did this one. 10 minutes toned arm workout. I just recently learned of her, Chloe Ting. What? This is no joke. I'm pretty sure my arms fell off, or close to it. Oh my gosh. Okay, so this works. Ha! I'm actually doing some reading today because my goal is honestly to read as much as I possibly can today, so that's what I'm doing. I want to make some comparisons thus far to honestly the 2004 movie adaptation of Troy, or just that particular movie, because I do know that I read the Iliad when I was in high school, but that's been so long ago, I really can't remember a daggone thing about that besides something about, I think, Paris running around the city and Achilles chasing him. That's pretty much it. So, some comparisons to the movie. Something that is the same. Agamemnon and Achilles do not like each other. The character Briseis is also in this particular story. Now, while in the movie she was the cousin of Hector and also a priestess or a priestess in training. I'm not really sure how that works. In the book, she is just a farm girl. And also for the sheer fact that Patroclus in the book is, you know, the lover of Achilles. Spoiler? Spoiler. In the movie, it's very much different. In the movie, Briseis ends up being the love interest for Achilles. Now, this is not a comparison. This is just a general update of what I'm reading in the book. Patroclus with Achilles, they are doing what they can to help the women and the girls who are being captured from raids that are going on. They're trying to save as many as they can from becoming sex slaves. And you know what? Good for them. I am happy that they are trying to do some good, even though currently Achilles is the one that is making these women and girls fatherless, brotherless, loverless. So, you know, not really penance, but just, I don't know, trying to balance the scales a little bit, something like that. Oh, the character Odysseus. I honestly don't remember if his character was in the movie. While I've seen that movie over a handful of times in my life, it's been a while. But anyways, that character, oh, he is very much a great character. He is very much, I would consider, an anti-hero. And while he is doing like eyebrow-raising decisions, I appreciate how the author has written him in such a way that I still like him, even though, again, he's making some decisions that I'm just like, okay. He's a cunning character, and that is also why in this story Odysseus is favored by a couple of the gods because of his cleverness. I don't remember which ones, and I do find that entertaining, his cleverness, which also reminded me, there are points where I'm like, you kind of remind me of Loki from the Marvel comics and the Marvel movies. Odysseus is also, I think because of his cleverness, there's also just something kind of charming about him. Not that I would want to be paired with a dude, but there is still something charming about him. Oh yeah, and I forgot to simply mention that I do really like the prose of this story and how this author writes. It's just simply that. It's beautiful. Okay, a cool detail that I just learned from the story is that Hector's wife is named Andromache. I honestly can't remember if her name was ever mentioned in the 2004 Troy movie, but yeah, I find that cool because one of the characters from the old guard is the leader, Andromache. Just simply that. Same name. Found that cool. Okay, at this point in the book, this dang war has gone on for 7 years or something. Holy wow. I mean, I knew in these kind of stories wars could last a very long time, but oof. I feel as if this was probably mentioned in the Iliad, that this war dragged on for many years. I'm kind of wondering, is this gonna go on for nearly 10 years? It's possible, and I'm seriously questioning Menelaus, the husband of Helen. Does he even care at this point that he still doesn't have his wife back, or is he just like moved on? Who knows? We shall see. Although pretty much the entire point now of this entire war is just to simply take over Troy and, you know, plunder it for its riches and for just to have more land. Because, you know, conquerors and such. So I'm expecting just our two main people to die. Yay. Man, that's depressing. I did it. I freaking finished the book. Hallelujah. Okay, non-spoiler thoughts first. I did like the ending. At first, initially, I was kind of thinking to myself, this feels a little bit rushed, but because of what happens, I did not mind the pacing. At the start of this freaking video, I had said, I'm probably gonna cry. I did not cry. Is there something on my lens? There probably is. I apologize. I can see it right here. Anyways, distracted. I thought I was gonna cry. I got a little misty-eyed. That's about as far as I went. Okay, this is like tying into not just the ending, but the book as a whole. I did enjoy the book as a whole. However, I will say I don't think this book ever fully 100% clicked for me. While there were certainly times when I was reading this book that I felt more sucked into the story, but I never felt that the entire time, to be honest. The author, I do think she is very good at giving characters distinct personalities and distinct voices. Achilles' son, he's a dick. Wow. Do I have any more words? He is a dick. He is cruel. He is, ooh, so high and mighty. And he's very short-lived. He really only has a presence at the very end of the book. And it's strange. So apparently the son, and I can't think of his name off the top of my head, and you know what? That's fine. He doesn't deserve it. That's actually like another point to the author. The son, Achilles' son, had essentially very little screen time, but he was still full of personality, and he made an impact for how little he was on screen. Yeah, I was very happy and pleased that because of Patroclus, and with the necessary help of Thetis, which is kind of amazing, you know, her actually working with Patroclus, because ooh, does she not like him. But anyways, because of Patroclus, Achilles' name will now be remembered not just as a killer, honestly, as well, not just someone who killed in cruelty because of his grief, but they honored Achilles and the good that he did do in his life. I kind of suspected this would happen. I'm not sure how long I suspected it, but there were definitely hints that once Achilles died, because Patroclus also died, I definitely hoped, and eventually I figured, okay, this will happen, that in the very end, their souls were indeed reunited in their afterlife. While I did enjoy the story, I do think I need to read this book again. It's gonna be a while before I do a reread, and I'm sorry this is so shaky, I'm just holding this in my hand. But right now, I can't say that I loved the story, enjoyed it, didn't love it. Oh gosh, because this is going on so long, I won't get into the details, but to tie this back into something I said at the very beginning of this video, yes, I can see the similarities between Patroclus, Achilles, and Joe and Nikki. However, Joe and Nikki, they're my boys, and I think they are superior to Patroclus and Achilles. Come at me, bro. I guess I shall also conclude with, yes, I do recommend this book. Who do I recommend this to? I'm not sure. If you like Greek tales and tales of gods and goddesses being angry at mortals, and this is the book for you. How do I even end this video? Thank you so much for watching this epic tale thing. And please take care, everyone. And oh my goodness gracious, I will see you all in my next video. Bye.